Hi all, this is Once and Future Gamer and welcome to another Pokemon challenge. Last time was a run through Pokemon Platinum as we sought to see if I could beat that with a single Cricketune. And bar one really hard fight versus Cyrus, not as bad as I thought. Today though, with the festive season approaching, we answer the question of if I can beat Pokemon Emerald with just a single Chimecho. Chimecho is a Psychic type and in Gen 3 we have a 425 base stat total, which isn't bad considering I have definitely used weaker Pokemon in these challenges. This is the weaker form of Chimecho, I will point out, since it got a buff in Gen 7. Attack is our weakest stat, but everything else isn't bad, particularly our great special attack. I will take this all day. We're weak to Bug, Ghost and Dark, so the Elite Four should be fun, but we resist Fighting and Psychic. Plus, we are immune to Ground thanks to our ability. 425 is the same as Dugtrio, Marowak, Sunflora, Swoobat, Wigglytuff and Wugtrio. Wow, I never realised Dugtrio and Wugtrio were that bad. I thought it would be at least 30 points higher. So, our moveset. It's not bad, you know. We do get Confusion quite early on, so that will probably carry us through the early bit of the game and the first two gyms for sure. Psychic, late on, is going to be nice. Safeguard might be useful, I suppose. Fire TM, I see Carmine, I see Shockwave, but about the best of the rest, as per usual, is Return. I might get something out of Shadow Ball, but probably not, since Ghost damage was physical in this game, for some reason. Maybe I can get something out of Hidden Power. Icy Wind is on the move tutor list, but unfortunately we can't learn it until the Battle Frontier, so that's not going to be helpful. I wouldn't say we get much in the way of coverage, so we'll have to use what we can get. The rules are on the screen throughout. As always, if you do enjoy what you see, then like, subscribe and ring that bell. Still trying to hit that 300 subs mark before the end of the year. Help me hit that goal. I feel like this challenge was suggested by someone last year, but I can't find the comment. So if you did suggest this, I apologise for not giving you the appropriate credit. Let's get this party started. Universal Pokemon Randomizer doesn't matter too much, so I replaced Mudkip, which means that the rival has Trico, which, given I think Grovyle gets Fury Cutter and Pursuit, it's probably about the hardest option for us to fight. But I wouldn't say that any of the three starters would be particularly problematic for us to fight. When we get the Chimecho from Professor Birch, we nickname it Windy Bell. Don't know why, it felt like a Windy Bell moment. We've got the Levitate ability, so immunity to ground moves, which may be handy. Also, we have the Naughty Nature, which is increased attack and less special defence. I don't know how I feel about that. Uncomfortable probably, but I don't suppose it'll be too bad. Anyway, let's go along and I do some training up before the first May fight. I don't really think we'll have a problem, but we've got to do what we've got to do. We only have Wrap as a move and it's not even close to being slightly good, but we've got to put up with it until we get something better. Confusion is in about 5 levels, so yay for that. It's a swift win and we can move on. I continue to train away until it's time to go and face Roxanne. I want the special attack EVs and it's not easy to get them at this point in the game. Let's not talk about what I have to do to get them. It's a slow grind. It's either Ralts or Abra, but I'm happy with the training. And well, the battle with Roxanne goes well as we one-hit the first Geodude with a crit Confusion, and I am curious just how necessary the crit was there. Not at all is the answer, as on the second turn, we do the same thing to the second Geodude and knock it out in one hit. So, she has both potions going into Nose Pass. This is going to be unpleasant. We hit a Confusion on Nose Pass while it goes for Harden, which, if it keeps doing that, I'll be laughing. We do get hit with a few Rock Tombs, but we keep unleashing our Psychic power onto it, forcing her to burn through both her potions in swift order, and eventually we get to the point where we can take the Nose Pass out. Not a hard fight at all, and I doubt that the next gym will be either. Harder fights are to come though. Just before we leave town, there's a fight with May to contend with. Shouldn't be a problem, and it's one of those where I have to remember if she has the Torkoal or not. And when the fight begins, the answer is no, she does not. Wingle is out first and we immediately take it out with a single confusion. Not a problem. Trico is second. It does survive a confusion, but only goes for Leah and doesn't even follow it up with a priority move as we take it down with a second confusion. Easy, let's move on. Fighting Jim is next and we should have an easy time here. I think we might just one-shot everything. It's not an unreasonable prediction, I think. I genuinely don't know what Brawley will be able to do to stop us. So, it doesn't quite go the way I expected because we don't one-shot everything. Machop is first and you might not be surprised to find that we do one-shot that. However, the next opponent is Meditite and this is where it becomes a little annoying. I didn't say hard, I said annoying as we can't quite one-hit that with confusion. And as a result, when it survives on a sliver, he begins to spam super potions, which is probably not ideal as I am a busy man and he is unnecessarily holding me up. Fine, I'll play the waiting game and eventually he runs out of items and we bring him down. Makahita just gets ended in one hit and we can move on with badge number 2. Okay, we've got some travelling to do next and I think we are going to hit a bit of a potential roadblock. We've got the Cycling Road rival fight, which normally, canonically, is the hardest fight in Gen 3 Hoenn games. Hardest rival fight, I'll clarify. And then there's the Electric Gym, which due to him having the Steel-type Magneton, that's going to be a bit of an issue. But I guess we'll have to see what we can do. Anyway, when the rival fight begins, she starts with Wingle and we down it with Confusion pretty swiftly, so yay on that. Grovile is second, it is faster and it likes to use Pursuit on us. I knew it had this move, so it's kind of the reason I chose to make sure the rival started with Trico. We bring it down eventually. Last is Slugma, and yeah, it's a Slugma, we end it quickly. You know, I heard something ages ago about how everyone has that Pokemon they hate. I think mine might be the Slugma/Magcargo line. Well, hate is probably the wrong word, I just like dunking on them. Many moons ago, I did a Pokemon Pseudo challenge where I randomised Fire Red and caught 3 early root strength Pokemon to battle through the entire game. And one of them was a friggin' Slugma. Didn't find the whole thing fun. Well, Pelipper and Ninjask were okay, Magcargo was very meh. Before anything else, I went and I took the Acro bike. I knew that if I didn't tell you what bike I took, you might go and, yep, I'm doing that. Almost managed to do it with a straight face. Whenever I make that joke, it is homage to a certain person who does these challenges. It's not me trying to steal any sort of thunder. Hey, I think it's worth homaging. Watson then, and I have a cunning plan. It's a good one, trust me on this. Magneton is going to resist all our moves, but I have an idea how we can get around it. As my ideas and strategies go, I think this one is an absolute belter. Let's see how it works out in practice. Not as well as I thought, but still pretty well. So, Voltorb survives Confusion and hits Spark. Thankfully, we don't get paralysed because that would mess with the Cherry Berry Windy Bell is holding. He heals it, but we bring it down with another Confusion. At least we got him to burn a potion. Electrike is a one hit with Confusion before Magneton is next. We go for Yawn and then get hit with Thunder Wave. Our Cherry Berry heals it, we do about a third of its health with Confusion and then it paralyses us again with another Thunder Wave before falling asleep. That didn't go well. We kinda get simultaneously unlucky and lucky at the same time in this fight. Because although we get fully paralysed a bunch of times versus Magneton and can't take it out easily, it also misses 2 Supersonics on us. So in the balance of play, I think we did okay. We do eventually take Magneton out, thankfully. At least we could do worse damage with our resisted Confusion. We never get fully paralysed versus Manectric, which, massive relief. Although it does have a Citrus Berry, and Watson still has 1 Super Potion. So although we are hitting it reasonably hard, it's still proving to be a bit of an obstacle. Some shockwaves do hit us, but they don't do a huge amount of damage, and so that is a big relief. We can soon bring it down for the third badge, and I'm sure that shockwave TM will come in handy sooner or later. Next up is Maxi, and so I can already tell this is not going to be fun. He'll begin with a mighty Hoenn, which will have the capacity to give us problems, I am sure of it. Intimidate and Sand Attack. Mind you, the first one won't be so much of an issue here, I guess. We have Shockwave and Psychic by this point. I did do some training near Falaba Town, since it's a great special attack grinding spot. Anyway, Mighty Hoenn is a 2-hit with Shockwave, only countering with Bite. That's nice because even though it is super effective, it doesn't do that much. Maxi does try to save it with a super potion, but doesn't succeed. Zubat goes down to a single Shockwave before the Camerupt is a 1-hit with Psychic. Easy money! How will Fire-type trainer Flannery go? Hard to say, but I am feeling optimistic for sure. We might as well go and get this done while we're here. I don't know how much it is actually worth talking about this because I'm going to give you a minor spoiler. It probably actually takes longer to go through the gym than it does to fight her. I've done this game how many times in the last 2 and a bit years? I can never remember the way. To answer the question, 16 times in Emerald and once each in Ruby and Sapphire. That's how many times I've been through it. Don't think it's that different in Gen 3, but I know it is in Gen 6, so I didn't mention the one and only Oras challenge that I did. That was nearly a year ago, by the way. Anyway, Numel, Slugma, Camerupt and Torkoal. That's who we have to face, and one by one, we unleash the power of our psychic attack on them. Numel doesn't survive it. Never does Slugma, neither does Camerupt. I wonder if Torkoal might, but nope, it does not. 4 badges down. Let's go fight our dad. Norman could be that little bit harder than Flannery was, but I think everything will go smoothly right up until we have to face Slacking, and then things might get interesting. All we can do is see what happens. That stab Psychic is nice. I am a little worried about the stuff that will resist it, like the Psychic Gym and the Dark Elite 4 member, but we will worry about that later. Anyway, we take out the Spinder and the Vigoroth at the start with our Psychic. Neither of them gets a shot in, and we simply fold them like a lawn chair to give us an exceptional start. Out third is Slacking, and I know it has Yawn, so I go for Safeguard. We do get hit with Facade, but it doesn't hurt that much, and we start to fire blasts of psychic energy at it, and we take it down with 2 of them, despite it trying to survive by eating the berry. Linu doesn't survive a psychic either, and that is 5 badges in hand. While we are walking then, I will do the trivia, just the one bit of trivia. Chimecho's index number is the very last in the Generation 3 games, barring glitch Pokemon and unknown forms, except in Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness, in which case the trait belongs to Munchlax. The name may be a combination of Chime and Echo. Bulbapedia says that may be the case, but I think there's a pretty solid case for that to be the truth. I do normally like the trivia sections to go on for quite a bit longer, but I don't really have too much more for this. Probably the most notable appearance of Chimecho was in the anime where it was belonged to James of Team Rocket, so there is that. Rival Fight is next, and I am up for this massively. I do not think she'll be a problem when we face her outside the Weather Institute, put it that way. Actually, I mean I can probably use that phrase for the other rival fight in Lily Cove as well. May is not a challenge. We go on the Psychic Sweep, taking out Slugma with the move in very short order. Hey, it's a Slugma. Shocker, right? Grovyle goes down to the same move in quick succession, and though Lombre hits a fake out, we also take that out with Psychic. Easy win. Mind you, 20 odd levels will do that. I do test to see what sort of hidden power we have, hoping it's something that we can utilise effectively with our special attack, especially since I'll be utilising the Calm Mind TM for sure in the future, when we get said TM from the 7th gym. I teach Windy Bell the move, saving it before doing so, because I'll be rebooting if it's something unuseful, and when we test it on the Kecleon outside Fortree City, we find out that we have the Ice type hidden power, and that is quite possibly very useful because there are a few Pokemon with ice weaknesses we have to face ahead. That will be very handy indeed. Winona then. We have electric and ice attacks. This is probably not going to be any sort of issue. I have a very strange feeling, what can I say? I used to find Winona really challenging when I was younger, but as I've gotten older, I'm not so sure. I mean, I don't know why they took Swellow off her team for Emerald, because it'd surely be a better opponent than Swablu. But it doesn't really matter. Two entirely separate trains have fought there. Swablu goes down to Shockwave pretty quickly before the next opponent is Tropius, and we go for our Ice-type hidden power to shoot it down. Told you that move would be useful. Pelipper does what Pelipper does and delays us with Protect before we blast it with Shockwave on the second turn to take it out. The fourth opponent is Skarmory, and we do what we need to with Shockwave to end it before finally we have Altaria, and once again hidden power brings it down. While in Lily Cove I do the rival fight. It's always good to get this out of the way before heading to Mount Pyre and back to the magma hideout in Mount Chimney. Guess we'll get this small hill out of the way before we go for the mountains. I always think this bit of the game feels a bit disjointed with how much you have to backtrack around the map. To Mount Pyre, then to Mount Chimney, and then to Slateport, and then back to Lily Cove. Meh, just a thought. May goes down quickly. Tropius is ended by hidden power. Grovyle and Slugma with Psychic, as might be expected. Our special attack is going really high. And at the end, Pelipper tries to stall us with Protect, and it's always deeply satisfying when we leave the Pelican a broken, twitching mess after we beat it. I stand by that quote, I regret nothing. Okay then, so as we work towards Maxi in Mount Chimney, let's talk about what's ongoing with the channel. There probably hasn't been any TCG stuff of late. I haven't bought any mystery boxes or elite trainer boxes, anything like that. I've been a bit too preoccupied with buying single cards. Got a complete base set and jungle set and almost a complete fossil collection. I'm not a massive amount of cards away from completing Team Rocket and Gym Heroes too. I do want to get all the old Wizards of the Coast stuff. I do have some TCG extra content videos I wouldn't mind doing, but not sure if this is a channel for it. Feels like my channel is a bit divergent as it is. I've got Pokemon, I've got horror, I've got various other miscellaneous Let's Plays in there. TCG card unboxings, do I really want to add something else to the melting pot? Oh, and Pokemon Master Showdown. Let's not forget this random idea I had before I went to Newquay with the former girlfriend. That feels like a lifetime ago now. We had Kahili versus Maxi a few weeks back. We had Aaron versus Carmine last week. And if I release this according to schedule, it'll be Cheran versus Green tomorrow. Spoiler alert. I did finish my RE2 Remake Claire playthrough. I've been smashing Pokemon Colosseum and also been doing bits of Pokemon Infinite Fusion as well. I also started a playthrough of Resident Evil 5. Not sure how that's going to go, as I do single player in a game that was intended to be played as co-op. Ah well. Pokemon Challengers, the last one of the year, is next time, and it's going to be a Gen 6 one. I'm going to round out the year with Pokemon Y with a single Riolu, as I recap over the last 12 months on the channel. Doesn't seem like 2 minutes since I was doing it on the Ordino video last year. As always, if you have any ideas for future challenges, head to the comment section down below or follow the links in the description to Twitter or Discord. Always happy to see what gets come up with. If you haven't already done so, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Still aiming for those 300 subs by the end of the year, and probably going to fail miserably as it stands. At the time of writing, in early December, still over 40 off at the time. We'll see. I might be surprised. Anyway, let's get back to the regular scheduled content then and see how we do versus Maxi. This fight always has the potential to be absolutely annoying. I wouldn't normally say Maxi should be a hard opponent based on what he has on his team, but there's that many possible stat debuffs and conditions that his team are capable of inflicting that it turns out to be bad. There's Intimidate, Sand Attack and Scary Face we have to worry about from Mighty Hoenn and Confuse Ray from the Crobat. Suffice to say, we do get hit with a mixture of them. Mighty Hoenn survives Shockwave and hits Scary Face, which means we're going to be slow going forward. He tries to save his Dark Doggo by healing it, but to no avail, and we drop it with the second Shockwave. Crobat is really annoying. It confuses us, then flinches us twice with Bite, one of them being a crit that we didn't need to be hit with. As much as we try to knock it out with Psychic, it takes a few turns before finally we do get that shot in and bring it down. Should have just brought an Oricorio. If you don't get that comment, watch Kahili vs Maxi on Pokemon Master Showdown. Camerupti's last, we fight through confusion and drop it with Psychic for a reliefsome win. That is the last major fight until the 7th gym, and I am reasonably confident ahead of the Psychic gym. It's not often I can say that now, is it? Well, we resist Psychic Stab, we have decent special defence, and we can't get harmed by Earthquake. Hence my confidence then. Maybe it's not good to be too overconfident. I mean, unless there is something I'm not considering. Let's see. It is a loss. Is that actually the first major loss we've had in this run? So the problem is Claydol. It knows Light Screen and we are exclusively a special attacker. So that's not even slightly good, as it means we don't hit particularly hard while that screen is up. So although we do take Xatu down with one Shockwave, by the time we get around to focusing our attention on Solrock, it's decidedly not good, because although we might be able to 2-hit it, the Light Screen puts pay to that, and it has a berry as well. I don't think we can fully make the Shell Bell just quite yet, so health recovery is out, unless I want to use a berry of my own. We don't take a lot of damage from the attacks, but we are taking 2 every turn, and between Psychic and Ancient Power from Claydol and Solar Beams from Solrock, it's not pleasant. Worse is when Lunatone begins to power up with Calm Mind, even after Solrock goes down, and it's an easy matter for that to finish us off. Let me see if I can do it at this level or not, with the knowledge that this fight gave me. We go again, and this time I give Windy Bell a Citrus Berry, so that might keep us alive a bit longer. We take the Xatu out with Shockwave, and without the Light Screen up, we one-hit the Claydol with a Hidden Power, which is quite frankly massive, as I didn't see that coming. The biggest issue is Lunatone, as we fire a number of Shockwaves at it. I figure it is the one more likely to use Calm Mind, so I want to hurt it as much as possible, fast as possible. We take a lot of attacks over the course of the fight. We do get worn down to the point we need to use our berry, but despite them healing Lunatone twice, we do eventually bring it down. Solrock is a one-hit with Shockwave, and that's a wrap. Give me that Calm Mind TM, please. Next major fight is the Archie one in the Undersea Cavern, and this should probably be a routine win. I've come to the conclusion that we likely shouldn't struggle in the Water Gym, so probably the first real hard next fight will be Sydney or Phoebe. We'll have to see. Anyway, we go for a Calm Mind versus Mighty Hoenn, just to be sure that we put the Dark Doggo down, and naturally it hits us with Swagger. Never got this. Swagger from something that has Intimidate probably isn't the best strategy because it's weakening your own attack. We fight through confusion and drop it with Shockwave. We do the same versus Crobat and drop it with Shockwave after shaking off confusion before Sharpedo is last. We blast it with our Shockwave and take it out. Time for the one and only then, and I'm reasonably confident. Normally, his Kingdra is an issue with Double Team. Guess what's not going to be a problem here? We have a move that won't ever miss. That's going to show him, hence why I'm not worried. I've also given myself a little insurance policy at the start because I have a strong prior knowledge of what Love Disc might do. We are faster than Love Disc, and we go for 2 Calm Minds. I'm really prepping for Kingdra. And we get hit with Water Pulse and then Sweet Kiss. The latter one confuses us, but I give him Windy Belt a Persian Berry to be on the safe side. And we heal before dropping Love Disc with Shockwave. Next is Crawdont, and we take that out quickly with Shockwave before the next opponent is Whiscash. This is going to be immune to Shockwave, so we go for Psychic instead. Before next is Celio, and we zap that with Shockwave to put us into the fight with Kingdra. And we outspeed it, blast it with our +2 stab Psychic, and it goes down. Let's move on. As we enter Victory Road, we have a fight with Wally, and this shouldn't be too bad. We don't have a great answer to his Magneton, but I think we should be over-leveled enough and can boost our stats enough that it isn't going to be a problem. So, Gardevoir might be strong enough to resist one hit from us, but I don't think it will be an overall problem. We get 1 Calm Mind going versus Altaria and then get hit with Dragon Breath. Thankfully, no paralysis. That would have put a crimp in my plan. We shoot it down with Hidden Power. Delcatty is next and we fold it with Psychic. Magneton is third, and this is the reason I wanted that Calm Mind, just to be sure. We blast it with Psychic and it goes down. Fourth is Roselia, and we take it out with Psychic before the final Pokemon is Gardevoir. It survives Shockwave but only goes for Future Sight, and we can then take it out with a second attack for the win. So, who is going to be hard in the Elite Four? I normally do this while the stats are on screen, but I'm changing it up a bit, just to be fun. Sydney is going to be awkward. We are going to be weak to some of his stab attacks. We can't use our own stab. But we have the Calm Mind, and Cacturn, Shiftry and Crawdont are weak to our Hidden Power and Shockwave. So, there is that. And those moves aren't resisted by Mightyena and Absol. Phoebe is going to be annoying as per usual, but again, if we can Calm Mind up enough, Ghost doesn't actually resist Psychic. Sableye will be immune to our stab, but that's not a problem. I think once those two are out of the way, it'll be plain sailing, as we have super effective move versus some of Glacier's team, most of Drake's team, and Wallace's team overall. So it's not like we need to be worried there either. I mean, we'll probably need to power up, that much is true, but things should be smooth enough. As we enter Evergrande City, here are our stats at level 81. Now, that special attack is pretty good for what we normally have to deal with at this point. Hey, it's nearly Christmas, I should get a little lucky sometimes. Defense and special defense are decent too. The speed isn't much lower than both of those. I am happy with our moveset, but I think that we are probably going to be fine. But what do you think? Take your guesses on if we can do it at this level or not right now, folks. I wait a couple of hours to get me a Shell Bell, and then I go at the Elite Four, beginning with Dark Trainer Sydney. If we can get out of the fight with Mightyena without being too badly debilitated, then we might be okay. We can't Shockwave our way through the entire fight, so lost accuracy or speed could be worrying. Anyway, we go for a Calm Mind versus Mightyena and get hit with a Sand Attack. Oh, here we go then. We take it out with Shockwave, and I wonder how costly that Sand Attack will be. We drop Shiftry with Hidden Power, so not there. Then comes Cacturn. We miss our Hidden Power and get hit with Cotton Spore. Thanks, doggo. We take it out at the second attempt, but no consolation. We drop Crawdont with Shockwave before Absol is last. It is faster, it lands Rock Slide on us, but we don't flinch and we take it out with Shockwave. That could have been worse, one down. And now for Ghost-type trainer Phoebe. So, I think we will get the free turn here while she goes to Protect, because that always happens on the first turn. Always. It messed me up a lot in my slacking run in this game. We go for that Calm Mind on the first turn of the fight, while Dusclops goes for Protect. And then, because it has Curse, I don't take the chance of powering up some more and blast it down with Psychic. Bayonet, number 1, is out next. We take it down with a Psychic. When bayonet number 2 comes out, I go for another Calm Mind and we get hit hard with a Shadow Ball. I want that boost for the second Dusclops just to be sure. We take bayonet out with Psychic and we do the same to the second Dusclops, which leaves us just the fight with Sableye to do, and we can very easily drop that with Shockwave for a win. Ice Trainer Glacier is third. I recently used Glacier's Oras rematch team in a Pokemon Master Showdown battle and it did not go well at all. But I think we should be set up okay for her here, so let's do this. What can she realistically do to us? That's the question on my mind as we begin the fight, and the answer is, well, actually, I mess up because of the law of status conditions. We go for 2 Calm Minds against the first Celio, and it goes for Hail, not an issue, and a Body Slap. Take a really wild guess what happens next, and suddenly we're on the back foot dealing with paralysis. That's most inconvenient, but it doesn't have to be a losing condition for the fight, as we take Celio out with Shockwave after getting hit with another Body Slam. We take the first Glalie out with Psychic after getting hit with Crunch. We take the second Glalie out with Psychic after getting hit with Shadow Ball. We fail with the kill shot on the second Celio when it goes to Hail as we are fully paralysed, and then it uses Attract on us, which just about kills our chance, as between paralysis and infatuation we never get the chance to attack again, and eventually a crit blizzard takes us out. Revenge! That's what I'm going for on the next attempt. That was just plain bad luck, and I'm not considering it to be any sort of indication of our ability to beat her or not, because without that status condition we'd have done so for sure. Let's not get greedy this time. We go for 1 Calm Mind versus Celio and it goes for the Hail. I know exactly where we went wrong last time. We blasted it with Shockwave to end it. We use our Psychic attack on both the Glalies to bring them down. Neither of them can stand up to that move. Maybe just 1 Calm Mind will be enough for this whole thing. Celio, number 2, goes down to Shockwave, and then we face off with the Walrein. We fire our Shockwave at it, and the Walrus actually survives hitting us with Surf. It survived on a sliver, even with the Citrus Berry, it never gets out of red health. We go for another Calm Mind when she heals, and we do make sure it goes down on the next turn to give us our revenge. Drake then. I think this fight depends on what happens versus Shelgon. The ideal path to victory is it going for Protect on the first turn, but if it opens with and lands Rock Tomb while we're powering up, then it's going to be very bad indeed. Coming out of Shelgon with lowered speed is worrying because the rest of Drake's team is pretty badass. Let's do this. It works out perfectly. Shelgon goes to Protect while we power up with Calm Mind, and that boost to our power is what we need to go on the rampage through his entire team. Shelgon goes down to Hidden Power, and on the next turn, Flygon is defeated the exact same way. Ice type was the type that would benefit us the most with Hidden Power. I haven't changed anything with it. I swear I wouldn't even know how to fix the Hidden Power type. Salamence goes down to the Hidden Power before Altaria does the same. Kingdra is last. We strike it with Psychic to change it up and give us the win. Wallace then, and this shouldn't be too bad. We have the tools to beat him. I guess it's just a case of seeing what happens versus Wailord right at the start, because I suppose there is a chance we could get messed up while we're powering up. I don't think it'll be too bad. Last time I went in too overconfident. We know what happened though. Let's get this done. We go for a Calm Mind at the start. Wailord goes to Blizzard and misses. That's all I need for another Calm Mind, and then it goes for Rain Dance. We shoot the Wailord down with Shockwave, but I hope the rain isn't going to negatively affect us. Tentacruel is next, and we blast it with Psychic to end it. And that is a good thing because Tentacruel can be annoying in this fight. Ludicolo is next, and it is faster thanks to the rain and hits us with Surf, but we counter with Psychic and end it quickly. Next is Whiscash, and we blast it with a Psychic to end it in one hit. 4 down, and then it's Gyarados. We go for a Shockwave though, and it doesn't survive the move to go down hard. Finally, it's Milotic. We aim a Shockwave at it, and the move is enough to bring it down. And just like that, we've taken the win, we've become the champion, and we can enter the Hall of Fame. I don't normally do this in Emerald, but given Chimecho is better than the Pokemon I normally use, I think I'm going to go and take a stab at Stephen Stone. See exactly what we can do against him. I feel like we might stand a chance. Let's find out. Maybe not at this level. We go for a Calm Mind versus Skarmory, and it's not enough to one-hit that as an opponent. He does heal it. We do take the chance to go for another Calm Mind, but having been hit with a few Steel Wings, it does give us food for thought. Credilli survives our Psychic. I am expecting a heal that never comes and go for a third Calm Mind, but it only goes for Ingrain and Ancient Power before we take it out. Next is Metagross. We do just about half with Shockwave. That's with 3 Calm Minds, keep in mind, before it easily finishes us off with Shadow Ball. Now, that's the question, isn't it? Do I devote more time to grinding up to a higher level for this fight, or leave it? I feel like we could probably win if we increased our level a bit more. Do I want to do that though? It's time constraints more than anything as to usually the reason why I don't face Steven. I feel like we could in this instant, but it's a case of should I or not. You know, I don't think I can be bothered. So with that in mind, challenge done. Thanks for watching, folks. Bit of an anticlimax maybe, but hey, it is what it is. I don't consider Steven a mandatory fight like I do Red in Gold and Silver. Largely because Emerald feels a bigger game to get to that post-game boss. It's probably the equivalent of both Kanto and Johto in fact, just to get to the champion. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks again for watching. If you did, please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Help the channel grow. Just kidding. Level 95, we come back, and on the second attempt, we do go through Steven like a hot knife through butter. We do need 4 Calm Minds dotted sporadically through the entire fight, but when we have them, it is a simple matter. The biggest issue still remains the Metagross, but we do what we must, we claim the win, and we move on out to bigger and better things. It was kind of meant to be a festive special. I don't think we mentioned the holidays too much throughout, but oh well. Next time will be the end of the year challenge. I'll be recapping what went off over the previous 12 months on the channel and with me, all while attempting to beat Pokemon Y with a single Riolu in a challenge I've been wanting to do for a while, and it will be my first Y challenge for a few months. As always, if you have any ideas for future challenges, head to the comment section down below or follow links to the description in my Twitter or my Discord. I think I said that a bit wrong. Happy holidays, folks, however you choose to celebrate it. I hope you have a great time, and if you don't celebrate it, well, have a great time doing what you do. I'm trying to make it sound sincere for sure. I think the plan is going to have Christmas at home, not go anywhere, do my usual tradition of spending it with my mum. We normally have Christmas dinner, then share about 2 to 4 bottles of wine, plus whatever other assorted spirits and beverages we've got in the house, and watch the TV, whatever we can find on during that day. I'm going to go jump off now, folks. That Riolu challenge isn't going to start itself. Take care, have a great day, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye now, so long, see you.